high-grade Gundam Age-3 Orbital. Hey, what's up again, everybody? Robert194, 2Rs2Bs, GundamReviews.net. And even though Gundam Age is over, well, there's still lots of leads to take a look at. And following up from the Age-3 normal, it's time to take a look at the space variant here in the form of the Age-3 Orbital. 2012 release. The MSRP, you can see there, 1,800 yen. As always, this is from Bandai with some absolutely incredible cover art. Definitely going to sell some kits just on the basis of this alone. And there you can see the name bar in English and Japanese, and it's number 26 in the HG Age series. Following in the tradition established so far in the first generation of Gundam Age, where you're going to have 3 wares for each of the 3 Gundams, Darkhound just being a little bit of a latecomer. It's a follow-up here to the high-grade Age-3 normal, which came out in time for the anime. It sells for 1,600 yen, so 200 yen more, and all of the variations between the normal, the orbital, and the fortress came out in their advanced grade format. This still to come and looking pretty good probably in high grade also. Lots of reasons to love this kit, I'd say, with the main one being just the appeal of the MS design. For me, it's right up there. Probably one of the best Gundam designs we've ever seen, for the simple fact that you can see that if you're up in space, you think you don't need flat feet. Well, the Orbital addresses that by having some feet that are going to look good in either mode, but in terms of PR imaging and things like that, you can see that they're always going to have them pointing down, and that's probably a very good move just in terms of sales, or at least in my book. Taking a look though, you can see that they're going to do a good job of selling this kit to you, as you're going to see the A-plate there with lots of colors on there, including some nice clear green, red and yellow, more yellow than you'd think, or so you'd hope. And you can see, besides the front and the back view, very colorful front and back, the yellow details all over the place. They're included in the legs, on the thrusters that are attached onto the shoulders. These are all great things that you can imagine would have been done in seals on almost any other kit. However, this high grade definitely has come along in terms of the high quality. You're going to be getting extra parts there that you can attach on, and they are advertising that if you want to have him on the land, despite the fact he is a space variant, that you can get the feet down flat there, and they're going to look pretty good with that, just that cover there, and it's a very interesting gimmick, it looks like, to have that accomplish it. If you want to take a look, you're going to have the G Viper, which is its transformation there. You're also going to have the Core Fighter, which we've already seen on the normal, and you can take this and take all the parts, attach it on. You're going to get this custom part there, so you're able to have the G Fighter or the Core Fighter separated, and that part on there, it's probably not going to look that good without a little bit of work. But you can see you're going to have the big gun there up on the top, which they're talking here, the Sigmasis Long Cannon. Looking very cool in the custom weapon for the Age-3. If you want to arc your weapons, yes, well before the movie did that kind of thing. What was it, Wanted? Anyway, and you can see that you're going to have this beam saber in hand, toes pointing down, some cool looking red thrusters in the back, and a whole bunch of hopefully not looking kibble there in terms of dynamic thrusters. Hopefully it's going to be dynamic and not just kibble, and it looks like it's all going to work out. You can also, you're going to get a custom action base, which is going to work whether it's in G Viper or MS mode. You can reverse it for that and put the weapon on the back when you're not using it, and the fists, instead of ziplock, you can just put them at the bottom of the stand that's included. Before it was captured, it looked pretty good with this nice clean art there, with the great line art again, great MS design, some cool looking CG as he's going to take on a very angry Zeheart, even though Kio and Zeheart didn't have too much of a grudge between them. But as you come over here, you're going to get to see just it without any details on there in terms of lining. The legs look a little bit plain unless you want to go and add some black or gray to them. But if you just look at the short order, you've got the red, the white, the red, the white, the white, the red, the gray. You can just see that it's going to go on and on, the number of colors that are in such a small area between the thrusters, the shoulders, the backpack, and the chest. It's definitely a color parade and the kind of thing, again, in high grade that never would have seen even a few short years ago. Inside the box we go, where you're going to be treated to some plates, blue, clear green, red, and white on the A-plate there. A big plate of red for the orbital only to go along with some gray inner frame. Some smaller AG-like parts here with the blue, yellow, and polycaps. Along with some beam sabers, you're going to have some white, some more gray there for the weapons it looks like. And Hobby Japan by the October issue. And there it is, number 26 H3 Orbital's manual. Nice looking A-plate to kick things off, where you're going to have 2 clear green parts to go along with the red there, including that all-important jewel up there for the V-fin. You've got all the parts for the Core Fighter that are going to go into the back, and those common parts there for the arms and thighs, and you'll see that this is identical to what you're getting with the Age-3 normal. And I don't care how many times I see it, but that is a great looking part to put on. The B and C plate for the normal are going to give you the white and blue that make up the rest of the body, but in the case of the D plate here, you can see that you're going to be getting that same stand and never get tired of having extra of those around, especially the one that can attach the Core Fighter. And you can see the manipulators there. You've got 3 different hands there to go along with the parts that are going to make up the inner frame, and again, this is identical. Lots of details here for E, and you can see that you're going to have these all-important yellow thrusters, and again, that great-looking V-fin to go along with the next section, but you're going to have these even smaller parts over here that are going to give you lots of lining opportunities. I'm going to have to think about what color to put in there, probably just some black Gundam marker ink as opposed to the lining markers. And if you compare this to the normal, you can see that the middle parts are going to be in common, whereas the normal had these ones, and these ones just had this part sticking off to this side instead. A big chunk of white, though, is going to be coming on the G plate, which says right here this is for the Orbital exclusively. You can see that it's got a couple beam sabers, these cool parts that are going to stick out of the side of the hips. And the most important thing being is that you're going to have these parts here, which are going to make up the very unique legs for the Orbital. It looks like, though, that you're not going to have any plastic parts there that you stick in, so you're going to have to make that up either with painting or with seals. Love these higher letters because the H, again, unique to the Orbital. You've got the all-important big red gun there that can bend its shots when it takes them, just like Beckham, and looking good as it does it. And you're also going to have the extra thrusters that are going to attach onto the shoulders and onto the waist section. And you can see that there's some little parts there that are going to be cut out, so you can either, again, put in some seals or some painting if you want to add some more details. I played also Orbital, and you can see that this is going to provide the inner frame, if you want to put it that way, for all of the Orbital's unique parts there, including the thrusters, some great-looking circles there. And you've just got some pretty cool details all around, including the bonus of an extra manipulator there in the form of a left closed fist. PC001 SB9 for the flat variety of beam sabers there, and I have to laugh at this. Again, this is unique to the Orbital. The J plate is just going to give you those cuffs in the blue color there. Sort of, you'd think that they could have put that on the A plate or something like that. I suppose unlike some of the other kits where they switch the color of the cuffs for each of them, they didn't do it with this, but it sort of reminds me of the choice that I did with my DB or my double bullet in the Age-2 version where I decided to paint those up. I suppose I could have just waited for this one to come out. And as cool as some of the parts and the fine details like on the yellow E plate were, it's still disappointing to see this many seals on this. It is unique to the Orbital, of course, you can guess. You can see that there's going to be about 6 of these gold stickers that go on, looking pretty good. Those are going to attach onto the white parts that we saw for the legs. The all-important H system for the mark, and again, that great-looking V-fin. White little details there, and I wonder if these are going to go on the bottom of the feet. Still cool that they've got them, but then again, you'd sort of expect a little bit more plastic, or hope for it anyway, but hopefully that's going to get remedied with the master grade. So you can probably tell that I'm pretty excited to have this kit and put it together, so stick around to see the parts as they're all assembled before seeing the MS. Put together, toes down, that's the advanced grade there, and of course transformed, although the focus I think is going to be on the MS mode for me. Anyway everybody, comments are always appreciated. Let me know what you think of the MS, the video, and the review itself, and as always stick around for lots more news, reviews, and everything else you can use. See ya. You know, this guy, even if you took off the custom action bases and just had him stand on his tiptoes, would probably have more solid ankles than a few of the recent master grades I can think of.